Peace. My name is Worsham L, and I am your trauma therapist at Lotus Trauma Care. We're your Southside Chicago trauma providers. We provide therapy and training. Today's vlog is on how to have control over strong emotions. Right? This is something that can be applicable for professionals, as adults, as parents, as partners, and even helping our children to do so as well. So before I give you a little information about how to have control over strong emotions, let me tell you a little bit about what credentials mean in order to do so. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and have had my own lifelong experiences with childhood trauma, or what we come to know as complex trauma. And so these experiences led me to a passion for explaining and helping everyone, regardless of their walk of life, in understanding how to overcome toxic stress. Okay, and so with that, this is my passion. All right, so today what I want to talk to you about is how do we understand the human stress response system and how it relates to our emotions. Why is this human stress response system so important for our emotions, and how we then are able to take that and identify our safety threats. Through identification of our safety threats, we are then able to actually handle and control those strong emotions. Why is it required that we see and understand our human stress response system and our safety threats? Because every human has a human stress response system, and anytime that we have any threat, perceived or real, to our safety, we will go into our human stress response system. So once we understand that, we're then going to end our vlog with mapping your safety. So there's a free download for you to reflect on this information and begin mapping out how you can be intentional about controlling those intense emotions and creating safety for yourself. So this human stress response system is something that we all have. It does not discriminate against race, gender, age, sex, sexuality, religion, where you live, how many children you have, the position you hold, how much money you make. You get the picture. It doesn't discriminate. This is a human experience. In fact, a global epidemic. So let's talk about this human stress response system so that we are better able to have a grip on these intense emotions that seem to just come out of nowhere at times, and that can cause a lot of fear and anxiety for a lot of us. Is one of the most common fight, flight, and freeze or human responses. This might look like verbal aggression, being cussed out. This might look like being threatened, having things thrown at you or throwing things at people. This can also look like insomnia, having racing thoughts, irritability. And then you have your flight response, or basically avoiding whatever it is that's feeling threatening or causing your safety threat. This could look like avoidance, procrastination. It might look like completely just ignoring things and not following through. It could look like a lot of I don't know, or one-word responses. Similarly, we have a freeze response. This typically happens when we have been up so long or for so much time that we lose energy. Or on the contrary, that we have no belief that we can have any impact on what's going on. We might find ourselves then in what we call a freeze response. This might look like depressive symptoms, isolating, daydreaming, kind of going in and out to what we call dissociative different patterns or continuum there. This could also look like a lot of people pleasing, being on autopilot. Yes, 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 because I don't have the energy to fight and explain why I want to say no. These are just a few of the potential examples of what these human fight, flight, and freeze responses look like. And we'll have another vlog on this coming shortly. Now, when do we experience these flight, fight, and freeze responses? Anytime there is a perceived or real threat to our safety. And so it's important that we understand the 4 different types of safety. The first type of safety is often the initial one we think about when we consider safety, our physical safety, right? Can I walk down the street without being attacked? Can I drive down the street without being attacked by a police officer or harassed? Right? Can I go home without being fearful of being assaulted or beat? These are examples, pretty extreme, of our physical safety. Nonetheless, they're examples that are extremely, extremely relevant and prevalent in today's society. So more minor examples might be, do I feel comfortable walking across the street? Am I worried about getting hit by a car? Right? And then we have our social safety, which is extremely important because we are social creatures. Humans are social creatures, regardless of what you've been told, regardless of whether or not you like other people and humans. In fact, social safety is one of the biggest safety threats that often happen, especially given that the society we live in tells you how to think, how to dress, how to behave. And so can we be ourselves in society? Can I drink the way I want, what I want to drink, when I want to drink, right? Can I speak and dress and act the way I want to act and express myself? Can I just be me? Without being criticized, without being shamed, without being ostracized, can I be me? This is your social safety. Then you have your moral safety, also extremely important and something that we are often being threatened with, or our social safety or moral safety, shall I say, is often being threatened. When we look at the news, for example, we're seeing so many things that are happening that we know to be wrong. This is an example of your moral safety being threatened. When you are being encountered with things that are a direct conflict to your values or your needs or that of the people you love or other humans in general. Okay? So do I have to go and do things in order to make ends meet that don't feel right? Am I being forced to enforce a policy or a rule that doesn't make any sense to me at work? These are examples, just a couple, of your moral safety. And then you have what we call your psychological safety. Now, these are the thoughts that are running through your head. Sometimes they're impacted by your parents, the people that you love, the opinions that you've heard. Other times they're impacted by what you tell yourself, how you've made sense of your experiences. And other times we might hear it from the media, the songs we listen to, the billboards we're looking at, the commercials we're watching, right? And so these psychological safety threats consist of thoughts that might be criticism, right? Am I criticizing myself? Am I beating myself up? Am I telling myself that I'm unworthy, right? Am I being able to affirm the things that I have done, the things that I have accomplished? These are examples of your psychological safety. Okay, and so now that we understand that trauma is toxic stress, does not discriminate, and is triggered anytime there is a threat to our safety, what I want you to do is download our safety and need reflective worksheet. Okay, it's a real quick worksheet that summarizes what we talked about, but then more importantly, takes you through some different questions to consider reflecting. What does your physical safety look like? Your social safety, your moral safety, and your psychological safety. Okay, it gives you some prompting questions to help think about these things. Because if you know what your safety looks like, then you'll know what triggers your safety, right? And you know what triggers your human stress response system. And so controlling our wrong or strong emotions, controlling our strong emotions is going to be extremely important for you to recognize the human stress response system, but more importantly, what triggers your human stress response system. So again, download your safety and me worksheet. Consider what it is that causes your safety, the type of thoughts, the type of people, the interactions, the environment, the experiences, what contributes to your safety. Okay. And when you realize that your safety is being triggered, how can you regain the safety? And oftentimes it's by calming down our central nervous system. So these are just a couple of things you can do to begin taking care of yourself. We'll have many more vlogs on how to manage different stress response systems, from the flight to the freeze response, because it's going to look different depending on which response is present. But the very first thing to do when you're trying to gain control over strong emotions is to know that trauma doesn't discriminate. It's toxic stress, and toxic stress in the alarm system or the human stress response system is turned on anytime there's a real or perceived threat to your safety. So take a moment to take care of yourself. If you will, I'd like to walk us through something called a grounding exercise, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouths, filling our bellies with air as we inhale, and exhaling, your bellies are going to deflate. As we continue to breathe, I'm going to walk us through using our 5 senses to calm down our central nervous system. Oftentimes, psychological safety threats and other safety threats have us in the future and in the past. And so breathing taps into what we call our ventral vagal nerve, which calms your system down, but it also brings us into the present moment to help our brain remember, yes, I am safe, and what I am responding to is not in the present moment. So if you like, we'll take a couple of moments. I'd like for you to get comfortable in your chair and take 2 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, inhaling peace, and out through your mouth, exhaling all your worries, anxieties, and concerns. Take another deep inhale and exhale, continuing to breathe as you bring your attention to 5 things that you see. It may be something in front of you, could be something on the wall, or something next to you, perhaps something you're wearing. Just notice 5 things that you see as you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now bringing your attention to 4 sounds that you hear. It may be a sound outside of the room, inside of the room, or perhaps internally. Continuing to breathe in peace and exhale all worries, concerns, and anxiety. On your next inhale, bring your attention to 3 things that you feel. Could be your bottom on the chair. It might be your clothes touching your skin. Just notice, don't label or judge. As you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, notice 2 scents. It might be something in the room, something outside of the room, outside of yourself. Perhaps you smell something you're wearing. Just notice these 2 scents as you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now bringing your attention to 1 thing that you taste. Perhaps your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, or something you're craving. Just take a deep breath in through your nose, inhaling peace, and an exhale as you release all worries and anxiety. I hope this vlog helped you to understand how you can begin taking control over strong emotions by recognizing your safety threats and recognizing that you have the power to calm down your central nervous system. Learn more by visiting us at lotustraumacare.com, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or Instagram. We also provide trauma therapy if you need additional support, as well as training and consultation and essential oil blends to help manage all the stressors that come by tapping into and manifesting the strengths that are deep inside of you. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment to your healing.